Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online.
No
All
idea
systems
functionally what I'm doing.
Months until I'm customizing my pussy lips. I'm very excited.
For fucking the giggles.
Yo, you ain't getting any candy for it, bitch.
I have 1 round left. Just enough for myself.
Apparently.
5 o'clock
YouTube.
news featuring the Camels.
No, I wasn't doing the news. I was doing our intro. Brent made that, goddammit.
I know. I just like the news.
I just quote Rob. I just like the news.
Welcome to the Camel Cast.
I don't. That's why I barely watch it.
No, I watch it every night almost.
Do you like the news? Well, we're like that, but with
For
less
games.
budget and also for games.
Well, way to state our non-existent budget. They don't know about our budget.
They're kind of is budget, I guess. It's just my bank account, and it's
We have spent millions. Podcast.
all of our focus testing is wasted.
And it's the delicious audio quality.
Focus down on these 4 people, and then we spend no money on anything else. Okay, let's do weeks. Who wants to start? I can.
Sure, do it.
Okay, I
iTunes, so take it away.
download iTunes, you mad cunt.
Yikes. Kill myself.
It was another week of not really doing much. I watched one thing, I think. I'm trying to rack my head real quick if I did anything else. I don't think so. No. I mean, I guess I should state that I do other things. Like I watch a lot of YouTube, but it seems really weird recounting YouTube watching on a YouTube video. And even if
Yeah, a
it
little bit.
wasn't, it's like everyone's got YouTube, everyone uses YouTube. That's how you're watching us right now. So I don't think I need to recommend to you the content on YouTube. So the one thing that I watched, I actually watched just before we got on, is Truth Seekers, which Truth Seekers is a Simon Pegg joint. That's the guy who did Shaun of the Dead and such. But the main character is Nick Frost, actually, who is known as the fat guy from Shaun of the Dead and all other Simon Pegg movies and stuff.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
And
most
it's a good show from the one episode that I saw. It's basically Nick Frost is a cable repairman who on the side does Truth Seekers, which is like a very shitty YouTube horror channel. So like Ghost Adventures type shit. And yeah, the elements introduced is that, you know, he basically did videos on absolutely nothing, and now actual paranormal stuff is happening. So yeah, the first episode was very funny, I thought, and a little slow, but it's just the first episode, and I'm probably gonna marathon that. I'm really racking my brain if I did anything else. I don't know. I just work and I watch YouTube, and that's it. That's my life. That's it. I mean, I guess I've done a lot of gun stuff, but gun stuff's weird to talk about because it's like I'm basically I swapped out my handguard. I got a custom one because I'm a terrible hipster and I'm not into AR-15s, so that means everything I buy is extremely expensive and usually custom made for a gun that is strictly inferior. But it was fun. It's fun learning that. I cleaned my gun for the first time. It was filthy. That stuff's fun to learn. And it's nice to take it all apart and put it back together and have it actually go back together. I was always it took me a while to clean it. I've already shot it like 3 times. I put 300 rounds through it before I fucking actually cleaned it because I was just like, man, if I fucking take this apart and then I can't get it back together again, I'd be
Just gonna be fucking mad.
oh man. Yeah. But
I'm done. I'm fucking done.
one weird side note that I noticed is a lot of gun oils smell fucking delicious, and I don't think that's a good thing.
I'm sorry. Wait, you want to repeat that? Real
No,
quick?
it's straight up. So hops number 9 smells like fucking bananas, and this one I just used, Frog Lube, smells like lavender, like the
Frog Lube?
lavender chewables. Yes, it's
Lube
made
from
it's
the
made
frog?
it's made 100% of frogs. It is like neon green, which is concerning, but I'm sure it's fine. It's also it also advertises itself as all natural gun oil, and I don't know what that could possibly mean. Oh, I finally remembered another thing I did. I've been watching all throughout the week piecemeal The Last Dance, which is a series on Netflix about the last season of the Chicago Bulls with Jordan before that team basically fell the fuck apart.
Oh yeah.
And it's very good. It's very interesting. It's kind of
Is that the documentary everyone was fucking talking about for like weeks recently? Did that come out recently?
I think it came out recently. I
So I remember hearing a
honestly
lot
don't
of
know.
people talk, and I was like, I should watch that, and then I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's entertaining. It's probably one of the best parts about it is just how frank and relaxed all the players are. Like they're like cursing up a storm in their interviews, and there's even parts where they're like, all right, we've recorded this bit and we want to watch it, and it just for him to like they play the scene and then he's just like, yeah, that motherfucker's lying, and like shit like that is pretty funny, and it's a crazy story too. So I recommend it. Even if you're only like I'm not really a sportsman, but I of course know who the great Michael Jordan is, thanks Space Jam, and
Purely because of Space Jam.
it's not only. I'm just
Not
joking.
his amazing basketball career.
No,
Just
no.
Space Jam.
Yeah, Space
Just
Jam.
a movie that tells you to do drugs.
Yeah, he was
Space
a nobody until Bugs Bunny really like shone the spotlight on his career. That ends with him starting baseball, and we all know how that went. Anyway, yeah, that was
completely forgot about that.
yeah.
Wow, dude. You just hard reminded me that was even a thing.
Yep. But yeah, that was my week. One last thing is it's very disorienting because since I have to edit these and fucking then like upload it, and I kind of dragged my feet this week. I think I went up like Saturday or Sunday. It feels like it's only been like 2 days since we recorded last for me, since I've been listening to that audio over and over. So this is just very disorienting.
I'll be honest with you. As someone who does not have a hand in editing this podcast in any way, shape, or form, it still feels like we just recorded. I don't know why. This week flew by, and then like Wednesday came, and I was like, oh shit, that's right. We have to record today.
There you
go. Also, as someone who doesn't help with the editing, I've just been extremely busy this week with life. So I was like, recording.
Well, since you started, keep rolling. What was your week?
I had a lot of work. I had to, after doing a midnight shift, stay an extra 8 hours to do a class to become med certified.
Neat.
I still have to do that for another 3 more days. So that's another 3 more days of doing midnight shifts into just staying another 8 hours.
Damn, son.
Yeah.
How very nice of them to be like, here's the stuff you got to learn to save lives. We'll make sure to do that after you're tired.
Yeah. I got tested on it too. So it's like, if you don't pass the test, guess what you got to do?
We kill you.
Yeah. So it's very tiring. I'm very exhausted. I'm very happy to start playing some games soon. I want to start getting back in the Risk of Rain because I got the new map out. The League just released all its new items in its update that I'm looking forward to immensely. Yeah, I know. I got my League hate.
Contractually obligated every time you bring it up to go, League!
Yeah, I know you are.
What are you contractually? Are you being paid?
Contractually. No, you made me sign that contract.
No, shut up. Shut up.
Yeah. What, you don't want to talk about that? You made me sign that contract. Right before we recorded the first ever episode of the podcast, we were like, if he ever brings up League, you got to sign right here.
I'm editing this all out. Honestly, still the onus is on you because you could have not signed that.
Yeah, I didn't read it well enough, and I just kind of put anything in front of me and I'll sign
I
it.
didn't read it. You see, I'm a little bit illiterate. You see. But anyway, I'm really looking forward to probably playing it tomorrow or tonight, depending when we end D&D. And other than just a lot of fucking work in these classes, I'm here. I'm awake. Chugged a lot of coffee and ready to run D&D after the podcast.
Nice.
Thank you for your service.
Didn't really play any games this week, unless you count like the fucking balloon tower defense on my phone while in between shit waiting for classes. I got balloon tower defense 6 on my phone, people. Really fun.
No,
That's Rob's mobile game review on the phones.
Nice.
Mobile review. It's a picture of Rob's face and 2 thumbs up, and it's like, it's really fun.
Yeah, just put my avatar's face on like right next to a phone. There we go.
Done.
And in quotes, it's really fun.
Yeah, really fun right there.
Segue, because my week is very short, and I could do this really quick.
It's
should I
not a
begin?
segue. That's a hijack. Is he done?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
I
Okay.
said he was done.
Oh, I
It's all
didn't.
hijack.
Fuck his week anyway. But
Big rip.
but my week was garbage. I did nothing.
Nice.
I played like no games. I've only worked.
You played some Apex with me
Yeah, I played some Apex,
and Phoebe.
and I'm
Matt.
subpar at it. But
I'm getting into Apex lately.
Apex is fun. I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's Apex.
I actually know nothing of Apex.
Fun.
It's good. I was gonna talk about my week, but
Yeah, no, you can, because it's all I'm going to say is it was fun and I'm playing it. But like I said, segue, because you talked about mobile gaming. I'm playing this mobile game right now, and it's hot trash. But
Is that the Warhammer one?
I'm just playing it. Yeah, I'm playing. It's Warhammer 40k combat cards.
what?
Yeah, it's
Sorry, I'm still laughing at your review. It's hot trash.
yes,
Just
it's
put
absolute
right
garbage.
after Rob.
Now put
Really
Richie's face and his avatar's face right next to a phone, and then with a
It's
thumb
hot
down
trash.
with hot trash.
Like, I'll be honest, the only reason I'm playing it is because I've been liking the 40k vibe, and whatever, it's a time sink. So like I'll be laying in bed and like, all right, time to turn this on for like a little bit. But the reason why it's hot trash, it's not just hot trash because it's bad. It's a cool concept. Basically, like you build your deck, and of course with the different factions, and there's allies, and there's synergies, and you pick like ranged, psychic, or melee, and each card has like values or like buffs and debuffs with those actions that they do. So it's kind of strategic in that regard. The reason why it's hot trash is because mainly the system that they use for this obviously pay to win mobile game. Basically is you have a level, and your level not only determines obviously your level, but it also determines what cards you have access to and how many deck points you have to use.
Ooh.
So if you're swole, not only do you get access to more diversity in cards, but better cards, and you get to add more of them, or you just get to add more in general of like cards that I would have access to. And that's pretty shitty. It's a shitty fucking mechanic. And besides like dumb shit where it's like in every mobile game where it's like you need like 10 of this card to upgrade and you need the gold and you could buy gold for plasma and it's all, all that mobile game shit. The casual mode of this game is cancerous. As in, there's no MMR, there's no skill ranking that you have. So they just throw you up against anyone. So I have played against people that are like 50 levels above me consistently. And it seems like the only way to win and have fun is playing the ranked mode, because you have a number associated to you there. But even then, it's like if you just get a guy that just started the season, he could still be like 50 levels above you. But it's better than casual mode. So
you know why they do that though?
So you spend money.
Yeah. They want you to get matched against the big dicks so that you're like, I should give them money so that my dick gets huge.
Like I said, it's a cool concept. Basically, the way it works is like you pick a warlord. He's like your warlord card, and they have like skills and traits and all that shit. And you then pick, like, your deck is made up of bodyguards, which are other cards that have like traits and shit. And you get 3 cards on the field, and you basically have to chomp through the bodyguard to then bring out the warlord and attempt to kill him. Like, it's a cool concept. It's fun. It's just locked behind shitty leveling and paywall mechanics.
Like every mobile game. Except Balloon Tower Defense 6.
And this is going to be weird for me, but I am very much enjoying my Tau decks.
Yeah. Fish shoot lasers. Plasma, sorry.
Tau are very strong in this game. Not probably OP. Well, honestly, I have no idea what's fucking OP in this game or not. But like, I compare what the Tau like warlords can do as opposed to the Space Marine ones, and I'm like, man, these Tau guys are sick. Now, granted, the Space Marine ones are a lot tankier, but really good. I have 2 right now. I have Shadow Sun, who's like ranged focus, and I have Commander Farsight. And actually, Commander Farsight's fucking awesome. Very strong melee lord.
It's like it's based off something.
Yeah. And
yeah, we have no idea what this is all from.
It's just very cool.
This is a new IP called Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, it's just out there. If you guys know where it's from, just lay it in the comments for us.
Unless you're British.
Something I think they do as well, like 100% too, which is kind of cool, is that the cards themselves are not like just artwork. It's clearly the model all painted and then like a picture of it taken.
Oh my god.
That seems
you say oh my god, but it's actually kind of like a charm to it.
No, I'm sure it has a charm. It probably has a nice aesthetic. It's just it smacks of cheap Then again, there's a lot
Mobile
of
game.
there's a lot of yeah, fair enough. And also there's a lot of games for 40K that just keep recycling the same official art over and over and over again. So I get at least this is something,
Something.
kind of different. Still, my
I
brain
don't,
just goes to like, what the fuck? Why?
I don't doubt for a moment that that game probably has like zero budget because it's like a Games Workshop licensed game on mobile, so that's probably why they did that. But it's a mobile game isn't always much of an excuse because you could go look at something like Tekken or whatever, which is like a Capcom mobile card game that has like awesome artwork made specifically for that game and shit like that. So I don't know. That does reek of cheapness a little bit. Just a smack, just a dab.
Like I said, I'll go back to my original hot take. The game's garbage, but it's something I'm playing. So
Richie
I
playing.
love the fucking. I love the honesty of that. I can't stop playing, but it sucks. It's absolute.
Are you telling me you've never, especially on your phone, just like played a game that you know wasn't good, but like you just for some reason just played it?
Nope.
No, not
Yeah,
really.
once and then never again.
I don't
played
even
that
have
Fire
any
Emblem
games
game.
installed on my phone.
I played Fire Emblem Heroes for like a while, and then when I stopped, I was like, I'm never gonna touch a game like this again. I remember you tried to get me to play. There was like was it like a Marvel game that you were playing or some shit?
I
You were like,
thought
yeah, man,
I
it's
was,
really
yes,
good.
but like I thought like I tried to get you to play the Star Wars one.
It might have been the Star Wars one, but I remember it was the Star Wars one before the Marvel one, I think, and I was like, nah, dude, I can't do it. I can't. I know what they're all about. I've experienced it. I got the taste with that Fire Emblem shit, and it was fun while it lasted, but
I will say I played Fire Emblem Heroes. I didn't think it was that bad, but when Rich tried to get me in like the Star Wars and the Marvel, I was like, no, I can only do one of those at a fucking time. And then I stopped playing Fire Emblem. I was like, okay, I'm not really gonna touch one of those again for a long ass time.
My issue with like so when my issue with those games is that I kind of started them pretty early, like when they first came out. They were really good. I enjoyed them immensely.
gotcha.
The problem is that as they aged, they put more and more content in and more gotcha and more ways of sucking money out of you that eventually it just gets too much because you can't possibly get everything because they put it all behind this like paywall, and that's kind of why I fell out.
And there's also event stuff, which we complained about last podcast.
Like
Remember
with that
all-
Marvel game, dude, when that came out, I was all up in that shit, and I had like a lot of the cool guys, and then like more and more content started dropping, and it was like, okay, so I could do the events, but I can't do them as well as these people paying for it. So then like these other events came out that required the new heroes to do that event to get the new hero, and then they added a new resource to go even further beyond like the fucking skill level cap, and it's just like, dude, I just can't keep up because I don't want to spend money on this shit game. So that's kind of what does it.
Well, I hear that's a big problem with those games in general. I haven't played any of them, so I can't say for sure. But I hear most people, it's like they release, it comes out, it's really balanced and everything's good, and then over time there's more payment gets slid in, and then power creep also slides in, and then
Yeah, I was gonna say
games
Yeah,
it's
it's
really-
always
power
power.
creep. It's
I
just
mean, that's
power
most
creep.
games though. Power creep just seeps in. and
We
it's like,
experience power creep in everything. We
Yeah.
experience it in things like Magic. We experience it. I mean, for fuck's sake, we see it in 40K when things get rebalanced between codexes and stuff like power creeps and all kinds of shit. Because, and in a gotcha game especially, they can't just have you pay a little bit and then just be comfortable and get to a place where you can stop. You have to constantly be giving them money throughout the time that you're playing it. That's what they want.
they need their muns. I mean, for the shit's sake, even Pokemon is now releasing DLC.
What?
Pokemon Sword and Shield has in the frickin' expansion.
Oh
going
yeah.
with it,
Like an expansion, like a big expansion. I mean,
like a
that's not that.
DLC.
All right. I mean, that's not that bad.
No, but
I
it
mean-
is a huge change in trends, you know. Then again, I mean, I've been out of Pokemon forever, and then I was like, oh, Sun Moon look cool, and then a couple weeks later they pulled a Capcom and they were like Ultra Sun and Moon, and I was like, fuck this, I'm never buying this again.
I very much enjoy Pokemon. I have bought every Pokemon except the Sword and Shield,
Ooh.
and this makes me upset. I have been a huge Pokemon nerd.
So that's our surprise Pokemon segment at the start of the cast.
Yeah,
Surprise Pokemon segment.
surprise, motherfucker.
Wow.
Richie, you got anything else, or should we roll into news?
Roll into the news.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh
Yes, right.
shit! I do this every time.
Yeah, you do.
It's always someone.
wanna talk.
Whoever's last,
With
I just
me, yes, no.
whatever. Go ahead.
All right. My week has been pretty simple. I didn't finish any of the games I said I might finish.
Sick.
So Amnesia and Ghost Runner remain uncompleted, but maybe I'll finish them eventually. I received my new computer in the mail
Nice.
2 days ago. So I've been
Did the UPS man swap out your 3080?
no, fortunately he did not. I am in fact looking at it in my case right now, so no, he did not. It's good. I haven't really had any major issues with it. I got it. I opened it up. I kind of like went in there and mildly dug around just to make sure everything was connected and not fucked up. And then I plugged it in and it didn't immediately explode, and my 3080 hasn't caught fire yet. So I'm
These are
feeling
all
pretty
good
good
things.
about it. Yeah, I've been playing some games on it. Nothing that intense yet. I played Apex yesterday and today. I've installed Monster Hunter because I really want to test that, because that game used to give me problems. Like I just want to go fight like Velkhana in the ice zone for just like max
Bless you.
processor melt and like particle effects. But I haven't done that yet. I did launch Tarkov today, and Tarkov always ran like absolute garbage on my old computer. I mean, like it was playable, but it always gave me problems from time to time. And I didn't go online, but I did an offline raid against with scavs on and shit, and it ran buttery smooth. And I did it on reserve as well, because reserve is kind of stressful on systems. And it ran good. So I have no problems. My only two issues with it kind of are well, for one, I sent a video to Richie, so he kind of knows this, but my computer is like a rainbow laser light show at all times. All the RGB is just going through the fucking entire color spectrum at all times. And while it looks kind of neat, I'm supposed to be able to fuck with that with Asus Aura Sync. And I have attempted to do so, and it's not working. It only will affect the RGB of my RAM and my motherboard itself. But there's supposed to be a quote unquote addressable header, which I believe is the fans. If I'm to guess that they have plugged into an RGB header on the motherboard, and when I try to change the color of that, it doesn't work. So that's kind of fucking annoying. I might be able to figure it out, but I don't know. Otherwise, I'm just stuck with a rainbow computer for however long I'm using this PC.
He said he sent me the video. He is officially 2 gamer levels on me because I only have one colored fan.
Yeah, because the gamer currency is RGB. We all know this.
Yeah. Do you have glowing RAM, Richie?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I guess glowing RAM. You've glowing RAM. That's RGB. You have some more gamer currency.
Yeah, but you have more than me. You're richer. You're
Yeah,
you're
it-
the,
Wait,
you're
wait,
the
wait,
gamer
wait. What
1%.
size kits do you have? Is it 2 sticks or 4?
You're him.
Both of you.
Oh,
I have
you built
4.
my computer. I only
Oh
got 2.
my god. He has 2 sticks and 2 fans on you.
God, dude, I'm like a
My
peasant to
GPU?
him.
GPU has RGB.
Oh
My
shit.
fucking the Mobo itself has fucking RGB. I'm telling you, seriously. If I could send you the video, but I took it from the front and it was very short because Discord doesn't allow big file sizes. But the fucking PC, like I'm looking at like a discotheque in my fucking room. It's constant. It's like my room. I have all the lights off in my gamer hole, and it's like my room is blue and all various colors as throughout this as the seconds go by, and it goes through the spectrum.
Meanwhile, I'm poor here with like a no rainbow, nothing.
My
All right,
case
here-
has LEDs.
Gamer currency is weak.
My game is very weak.
This is the nerdiest shit that we've ever talked about.
Yeah,
Could you
absolutely.
imagine 5 years ago, well 6 years because we're fucking old, us like having this conversation of how many LEDs does your fucking CPU have? What happened?
Listen, I didn't.
According to our
plan
week
to have-
summaries, we don't even play games anymore. What are we doing?
I didn't plan to have this much RGB in my PC. To be completely honest, I was like, I kind of did, but I forgot until I plugged it in that I was like, oh shit, that's right, my graphics card too, and my fucking only 3 of the fans that I asked for were extra like RGB fans. The other 3 weren't. I didn't actually know if they would or wouldn't be because they just came with the case, but apparently they are. So the fucking thing is the light show is the moral of the story. The only issue I've had with the PC so far, and this is actually really fucking annoying, is my motherboard. When I turn the computer off, for some reason the motherboard goes into what appears to be some form of idle state, where because it's still drawing power, because the lights are still on, but only on the Mobo. That's it. And it's doing the same thing, like the rainbow color pattern, but it's just the motherboard. And this wouldn't be a problem because I have everything plugged into a power supply, which I cycle typically. Like at night, I turn it off, and then when I wake up, if I'm gonna go on my computer, I turn it back on. So like the lights aren't that big of an issue. But what is an issue is that if I turn the computer off and I don't power cycle it, my Ethernet port just doesn't work. Like I turn the computer back on and I can't get internet through my Ethernet port. It's very fucking strange. The little light indicator on the back of the PC for the Ethernet port doesn't even light up. It's as if there's like nothing in it. And if I unplug the fucking cable and plug it back in, it doesn't work. At first I thought it was a problem with my router or something. Like I didn't realize it was the port. Cycled that, didn't work. Shut down the computer, turned it back on, didn't work. It has something to do with when the Mobo goes into sleep and then I turn it back on without cutting power completely, it just kills the Ethernet port. So that's really frustrating.
That's weird because like when I first got my computer, I didn't have that exact issue, but like it wouldn't read my Ethernet. Like I have a direct connect right into my modem. Like
Really? So how'd you fix it?
It was I even like turned it on, turned it off, went it on, and it wasn't working. Honestly, how I fixed it, I can't even tell you. I have no idea what I did. I just like was troubleshooting, was doing this, was doing that, just tried different wires and different ports and unplugged routers. Eventually I got it to work.
What kind of motherboard do you have? Do you know off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, I have no idea.
You don't know like the company, like the make of it? Off the
God,
top
I
of
don't
your
know.
head.
Anthony would know more than me.
Was it an Asus? Does that ring a bell?
I built it a while ago though, so I don't.
That's true. You probably have like 6 other builds.
Kind of.
Mine's an Asus, so if yours an Asus, maybe it's an Asus thing. I don't know, but it's a really fucking annoying problem. It's not like the worst because I just turn the computer off, power cycle my power supply, and then turn it back on, and that's like a non-issue. But if I were to forget, I had to like disable sleep because sleep mode does it too. So, and I can't just like, that's literally how I figured it out was I walked away from my computer today to watch an episode of something, came back, my computer was in sleep mode, took it out of sleep mode, and I couldn't connect to the internet. And I had like a mild panic attack because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But I figured it out. I've seen people say it might have something to do with the drivers. for the Ethernet port. And like I could roll them back to slightly older drivers, and some people say that that's fixed it for them. In theory, I don't have to do that if I just power cycle from my power supply, but like it is kind of frustrating. But that's the only issue I've had. Everything else is cool. Games are running really well, and I'm pretty fucking happy with it.
That's good.
And that's pretty much my week.
Nice.
I played a lot of Apex. I forgot to mention that last week, but it's not that big of a deal. Season 7 is pretty tight, and I've been spamming it quite a bit, as opposed to playing things like Tarkov or Dota, and that's pretty much my life.
I'm being so reluctant in buying a new PC. I don't know why.
What's
Well,
the
because
source of
it's,
your reluctance?
It's a big chunk of change, probably.
It's
Yeah, but you're doing 16-hour days. What else are you going to use that money for?
just
Crack.
nest egg. Fucking actually saving money to be an adult one day.
You don't need that much money to be an adult. The problem is when bullshit happens. And
Yeah.
trust me, you will. Depending on the scale of the bullshit, you may never have enough money.
True.
But anyway, on to news. Our first bit
News
of
me
news
up.
is about the video game, The Medium, where it has been delayed, and then Australia was like, "No, thank you, please, thank you." Which is interesting, because delay, sure, fine. Almost everything's getting delayed, and Xbox can't launch with any exclusives. It's a law now.
I'm gonna be so interested. This is a small aside, but I'm gonna be very interested to see like sales numbers for both consoles, because like I don't know what the fuck people are gonna play on an Xbox on launch, other than like DMC5.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Well, I guess the benefit of it is that they have the built-in upscaling, and then they have Game Pass. So it's like, you want the pretty graphics. I mean, we want the pretty graphics. We're paying way more than $500, so I mean, it's time for the console kids to get their first little taste of that.
The Medium supposed to be a launch game?
I don't think so. I think it was going to be
Oh, okay.
next year. I just wanted to
whatever.
make the joke real bad.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
not a big of a deal though.
And then as for Australia, they just refuse to rate it because it's too spooky.
That's that makes me wonder what the content of that game is. I mean, Australia has been notoriously horrendous about game ratings and banning games.
Games in general, honestly, they even charge more for them.
They got rid of hentai.
Yep. Which is weird because they're a stone's throw away from Japan. That's probably why. It's literally being shipped over by boat.
Goddamn you, Australia.
They're too busy getting extreme sun exposure.
Enough shit's wrong with the world. Why you gotta add to it?
I
I
guess.
realize my push this talk doesn't work when I'm looking at MSI Afterburner.
Oh,
Whoops.
Say
What I
anything
said
crazy?
was, no, the only thing I said was it does make me wonder what the content of the game is that they refuse to rate it.
Well, I mean, I know, at least from the trailers, is it's got kind of like a Silent Hill world, so creepy, spooky stuff can happen in there. And, I mean, I think it was supposed to be about, like, kind of
Australia-
mental stuff, and I could see the, like, the people that are sensitive about that stuff being like, "Nah."
It's usually gore, though, isn't it, with Australia? Isn't that typically
Gore and
why they do
sexual
games
content.
all the time? Okay, so like that's what I mean when I say I wonder what's in the game that's that bad, because I never got the impression from the trailers that it was like an overly gory
Experience.
kind of experience, but maybe it is.
Or maybe it's
It's-
like weirdly sexy and they're keeping it super under wraps.
That's really sexy. What they haven't shown you is the mechanic where there's actually combat in the game, and as you take damage, your character's clothes get all ripped and shit.
like the third birthday.
Yeah, like the third birthday. They haven't shown that, but it's there. And Australia knows, and they were like, "Gotta get rid of that."
We ain't
It's just
grading
horror
this.
porn. It's just horror porn. That's all it is.
It's, this podcast keeps mirroring the last one. We keep talking about things that we just talked about. All right. Archie, any weigh in on that?
No. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm
it's fine.
learning about imperialism right now.
It's great.
I have to multitask.
Ungrateful bastards. That's my favorite imperialism
I am
joke.
trying to do a podcast while also learning about imperialism, while also getting my confirmation of my Airbnb. So,
Nice. Cool.
multitasking.
Speaking of multitasking, Sega fires a bunch of people. That's not multitasking at all.
Segway.
In fact, that's quite single-minded. It's like one task. They just fired. Quite the
Well,
opposite.
hold on. They didn't fire anyone. They cut executive salaries and asked people to voluntarily retire.
Yeah, you didn't
Oh
post
my
an article
fucking
about this.
God.
I didn't read about it. I just saw the picture, so I know nothing about this.
I know nothing, Jon Snow.
Hope you do.
Of course I do.
Good thing. Speak then.
No, I refuse.
All right. Well,
No,
that's the
okay, this
podcast.
is it.
That's
So,
all.
so they blame COVID. S-
Shit.
A very go-to excuse nowadays.
but the main reason was extraordinary losses for the quarter. Apparently, they lost $97 million,
Ew.
and they sold off the management of their arcades and a bunch of other things, which is kind of ridiculous because we were talking about that fog computing before, and that was literally to like make their arcades more cost effective. So they came out with a technology and then sold that part of the business because they were losing too much money. So Sega free IP soon.
How long is it gonna be before Sega dies? I feel like we've been talking about this for ages. Like, say, there's always some bit of news about Sega, like getting severely fucked on, but no one's bought them yet.
Oh,
Nothing
awesome.
crazy's occurred.
Well, I think it's weird. Like usually when a company goes under, like people buy them and they get the those ancient like good guys, or they get technology, or they get IPs. I honestly think that if Sega goes under, people are just gonna let it die, but they're gonna scoop up the IPs because no one really cares about Sega, but a lot of people like Sonic.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, like, yeah, I guess I think of Sega more as like a publisher nowadays than anything else, but they do have some stuff like Yakuza and shit
Yeah.
like that, which is probably one of the only things that makes them money because Yakuza's pretty successful.
Yeah, because
But I can't do anything else.
Yeah, as far as I hear, because I can't even remember the last time I played Sega. Like as far as I know, Sega's only revenue streams is from Total War DLC and Yakuza, and like that's it.
Pretty much it. They publish stuff. They publish in a creative assembly game from time to time, and they've got Yakuza, and then nothing happens with Sonic. And then, like, what else? They throw money away on weird handhelds, and
They want to relive their glory days with the handhelds.
can't really think of anything else. It is honestly shocking to me that like nothing. I wonder how many days until we have like a major news story regarding Sega, like something really serious, like an acquisition or.
I mean, I don't know. Losing almost 100 million in a quarter seems pretty serious.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like actual like out of business speak. Someone buys them. Like how many weeks or months until we see an article of like Microsoft has purchased Sega?
Well, actually, I guess we could transition to that story. Is
I set you up.
Microsoft buy.
Yeah, Microsoft has to deny that they're buying Japanese. Like they're in talks, but people
They're
have
buying the Japanese.
yeah. Well, I mean, we did that podcast. Phil Spencer
Phil
buys Japan.
Spencer's exact wording on this was very interesting because he was like, "Listen, I don't speak to everyone at this company. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know exactly what's going on. It could be like maybe someone's talking to some Japanese studios, but as far as I know, we're not buying any Japanese game development studios." That's what he said.
Well, it's
But he was very clear to be like, "I'm not in the know with everything going on." So
well, I mean, there's a lot of sub things in at Xbox now, like at Xbox and what's their like their indie division or whatever it is. I can't remember what that's called. Um, but yeah, like all these sub things where it's like yeah, a lot of small studios and stuff like legitimately work for Xbox, but they don't work for Xbox. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's entirely possible that purchases would be done through that. But yeah, the for whatever reason there was a glut of rumors, probably because they just bought Bethesda and well, they bought Bethesda's parent company, but no one cares about that. Um, that people just assumed that they were going to continue this buying spree, and the reason I link it is because I had saw like I had seen like a billion rumors that oh yeah Microsoft's gonna buy Sega. Hell, I remember even like way back at the Xbox like Series X when it was like first revealing, when there were those rumors that it was going to be the Sega box in Japan in order to like bolster Japanese sales. So for whatever reason, there's been a billion rumors with Xbox and Sega, and I don't know why.
well, I think the big reason why people are talking about Microsoft potentially buying some like Japanese dev isn't like the Bethesda acquisition or ZeniMax really. Certainly sparked it, right?
Mhm.
But I think a big part of why people are bringing it up is because I think someone it may have even been Phil Spencer was quoted not really that long ago, like within the last few years or something like that. I'm pretty sure there's a quote of someone. It may even be him being like, "Yeah, like it's been known that they're trying to work with Japanese developers. It's typically failed, like with Scalebound and shit like that, but it's been common knowledge that they want to get into that market more than they currently are, and they want like a Japanese developer to make them a game, but they have not succeeded at it. So like I think the Bethesda acquisition was kind of it makes you think, you know, like if that's what they're willing to do, and we know that they've said in the past that they want Japanese developed games, why wouldn't they just do this but with like a Japanese dev, you know? It's entirely possible, but now we have Phil Spencer himself like half putting the kibosh on the rumors. So who knows?
Well, I mean, straight out acquiring rumors, not necessarily any sort of deals or partnerships or anything. But that's wording and how articles are written. You never quite know. It'd be interesting to see. They definitely their weakest market is by far Japan, but with how the Switch sells over there, and I mean Japan always kind of gravitates towards handhelds as opposed to home consoles, and let alone their made in Japan fervor. I don't think they have a chance, but it's weird. Like now, Japan isn't the market it used to be because China exists. So I don't think it's the biggest deal either.
No,
I don't
but
think it's insane to think
still
that
a good market.
they could. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of like really respected devs coming out of Japan still, but I don't know. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility for them to buy a Japanese studio. Do I think that they're actually doing it? Probably not. But I wouldn't be shocked if tomorrow we heard news that they bought Sega or some shit like that. I'd be like, oh, okay. You know, would not blow my mind.
No minds would be blown here.
But according to Phil Spencer, they're not doing it. At least as far as he knows. However, you know what we could do? We could talk about the next story that I think is hilarious that I also linked. which is a pretty decent segue from this. That Phil Spencer
yeah.
himself has played Elden Ring a
Yes.
whole lot. The funniest part about this article is that apparently he's friends with Miyazaki. What?
Why
Did you
not?
read that? It's just really funny to me. Apparently, he goes sometimes to FromSoft, plays skews of their games, and then Miyazaki will just let him do it, and then he'll come in with a team of people and they'll talk about what he played. That's hilarious to me. It's just like seeing Phil Spencer in a room playing Elden Ring by himself, and then Miyazaki and his crew walk in and go, "All right, what do you think?" Specifically, Phil Spencer.
That they don't know enough Americans.
It's just so funny to me. Like
Phil Spencer is their American
contact.
contact, and their focus group is literally just Phil Spencer for all of America.
Mental image of Phil Spencer on a couch. Like Miyazaki brings him into a room and goes, "All right,
Phil
you play
San.
Elden Ring." Yes, Phil San, you play Elden Ring now, and then he leaves. Phil San plays like 5 hours of Elden Ring, and then Miyazaki comes back in with a crew of suits, and he's just like, "Tell us everything. How did you feel? How did the game make you feel, Phil Spencer?"
I gotta, as kind of an aside to this, it's crazy and also makes sense. How like Phil Spencer's meteoric rise into like the annals of gaming history. Because like we don't know how it will fully shake out between the new Xbox, because fuck its stupid name, and the PlayStation 5. But considering the absolute mess that was like the One's release, Xbox legit has momentum, and he managed to get the bigger company to that is Microsoft to pay attention to its games division, and he's making the right deals and sales and moves and stuff. So. Goddamn, shine on you, crazy diamond, Phil Spencer, and it's good to know that Elden Ring wasn't quietly murdered in the back.
let alone, hold on, before we even talk about the fact that Elden Ring exists, let alone the fact that Phil Spencer, big ups to Phil Spencer for getting like all Xbox games on PC ever since he's been in his fucking position. You know, who knows if he has anything to do with that, but all I know is that since he's been where he's been, I've been able to play Xbox games on my PC.
Yeah,
freely.
that too.
So that's neat. But yes, the other biggest part of the story is that Elden Ring is actually a thing in some place, somewhere. It is a playable game that exists in FromSoft's offices. We just are not allowed to see it, but apparently it's totally a thing that exists. Thanks for letting me know that, Phil Spencer. I don't know why the fuck FromSoft's not letting me know that, but I appreciate that
they're seeing the crazy fever pitch on both sides for like Cyberpunk, and they're like, yeah, we're not going to show anything until we have a release date.
Very possible. That's entirely possible.
Very possible.
Or Miyazaki himself is so excited for Cyberpunk that he's like halted development on Elden Ring. He's played it and completed it, and then he's like, "Yes, then we will resume work."
The next footage of Elden Ring is just like fantasy Cyberpunk.
Yeah. Like 180.
Because all we've seen is that chick in the armor with the one arm. And Elden Ring, yeah. So really, yeah, they could pan right from that scene, and it could be like a city.
Pan the camera around from her, and it's like George R.R. Martin, but with like two cyborg hands or like arms. It's just like ripped.
It's playing the trailer music from Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Elden Ring. Oh, it'd be hysterical.
What's next?
Now, right before that, From Software, please make more fucking Cyberpunks. Like, make Armored Core, god damn it. Make Armored Core. Make Armored Core.
Maybe after Elden Ring, it's possible.
I mean, look at a bunch of guys, all those guys split off and made Daemon X Machina, and that made a profit. Oh.
Look, FromSoft, look at how successful this Armored Core game was. Please make Armored Core. Please ignore the fact that it wasn't that successful.
Shh. It's fine.
You know what's really fucked up? That was an Armored Core game that had an anime injection, and it still didn't do that good.
Well, it may have not
So-
done that good because of the anime injection.
Do you think so? You don't think the anime injection would have helped it more than it would have hurt it?
From the people I speak to in my mecha circles, definitely heard it.
Okay.
It's they didn't go anime enough. If you want to go anime mech game, release like 13 Sentinels. You know, that's doing really good. But and that is crazy anime. But yeah, Daemon X, it's like it's trying to have the edge of Armored Core, but or at least the aesthetics of Armored Core, with like just terrible characters. It's almost like that team has never been known for its character writing. Anyway, The Witcher.
Why is it on fire? What's going on? I actually didn't read this.
The show, the Rona. Apparently, people, actors, actresses someone has COVID. No one on lead cast.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, but they got the Rona. And apparently, season 2 has been indefinitely delayed. I don't know if they slapped a date on it or not. But apparently, we will not be getting season 2 of The Witcher anytime soon.
This is like I think
Tony is
Richie.
just taking everything from me.
Yeah, but at least this one I feel like you'll be
No,
more comfortable with.
This one is like obviously like, all right, someone got COVID, so gotta stop production. Like that makes sense. Like it's acting. It's a lot different.
Than game production.
I don't even have there's no date associated with season 2. It's just 2021 at some point, and now it's been delayed because of the Rona. So that's that.
Unfortunate.
The fucking Rona.
Next bit of news. AI Dungeon. That cool thing that I mentioned way back.
I don't even remember this.
So AI Dungeon is actually I think I talked about it mostly off the podcast, kind of like the funny weird shit going on about it. It's basically like
I
those
think I remember.
old school dungeon games, like where it was all text adventure, but it's entirely AI based scripted.
Yeah, I remember you talking about this.
So a lot has happened since I last did it, where a billion people made forks because the guy was like, "Oh, we need money," and they got it even though they had a bunch of Patreon money. They did a lot of stupid things, and people were like, "Eh," and so making better versions, and then those were getting retroactively rolled in. The biggest change since we talked about it was they split the AI because the costs are enormous for housing such a game. Spoiler, they don't actually host the game. That's Google. They split it into AI Dungeon Dragon and AI Dungeon Griffin, where Griffin is a retarded earlier version of the code, which is perfectly serviceable. I mean, if what I was playing on was probably pre-Griffin, and I had a lot of good times, so. And Dragon is like basically the smartest, most advanced version of the code. You have to pay to play on Dragon, and then to make it even crazier, I think it's one of their Patreon rewards. And then to make it even crazier, now they have limited the amount of posts you can make on Dragon via AI energy. As a way, but you could buy Dragon scales, which then you could use to buy more energy. It's turned into a phone game, basically.
Very strange.
Lovely.
I mean, they probably have a crap ton of coders working on this, from what I am imagining, because last I checked, they were making money hand over fist, and the entire reason they said they needed that money was a lie in the first case. So what they need more money for now, I don't know. They might roll it back because, needless to say, the response to this is insane. That the premium version you have to microtransaction for to play, that ruffled some feathers.
Not good.
I imagine.
That's no good.
That said, I highly recommend it. Just play Griffin. It's fine. Or try to track down the old paste bins for the old different forks of it, like Clover Edition and stuff like that, because it's very fun. You could do whatever you want. You could have funny adventures. You could have serious adventures. You could coom. You could do anything you want. Sky's the limit.
I am a coomer.
You have sex-filled adventures, apparently.
Yeah.
Cool.
You could be a coom lord.
I live my life one coom at a time.
There's no segue for this. Square Enix lost 63 million on Marvel's Avengers because it only sold around 3 million copies.
Good. Fuck that game.
I saw this, and when I read it, I read a headline stating this, and I was like, I don't want to say excited because that makes me sound like a prick, but like I feel like I saw this coming from a mile away. I don't know who was excited for this game, and the second I saw how like kind of soulless it was and how it tried to like eat your time, just felt like this was gonna happen. Like maybe it wasn't gonna be as popular as they were expecting it to be.
Well, I remember
It
even.
is sad though, because
Sorry,
the
go
game could have been good.
Oh, it could have been very good. That's the whole problem.
But much like Anthem.
The problem is everyone needs shit to be.
Wait. Anthem was real. It wasn't a pipe dream I had.
No, the nightmare is real.
Yeah, the nightmare is still ongoing as far as we. The problem is everyone wants to have their fucking successful games as a service platform, and they were like, "Oh, we can do it with Marvel." Turns out, not enough people gave a fuck.
Consumers aren't as gullible as everyone wants to believe.
No, they are just not in a game like that.
I think the problem is from everything I've heard. I don't want to sound too ignorant of the topic. I don't want to sound like I'm just slinging shit for no reason. But everything I've heard from reviews and stuff about this game makes it seem like it's not just one issue. Like there's a kind of a cavalcade of problems with this game. People say, I think I've seen people say that the gameplay is not anything particularly special. It gets kind of boring. And then when you try to make a game that's kind of just a soulless beat 'em up that's not as fun to play as something like an Ultimate Alliance game was, and then you ask people to play it like it's a Destiny game, like over and over again, I don't know. Like it's not shocking to me that this game didn't take off.
Yeah, as far as from what I've read is like the main complaints are like you're mostly playing Comic-Con, which is whatever, but the people currently into Avengers and made Avengers super big know the movies and they want to play those characters. And granted, you can play them, but them not being the main focus will turn a lot of them off. And then also you have to fight. From what I hear, is you mostly fight just recolored robots, and it's
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's the single player component, which there's like an actual story mode and shit like that. But then isn't the multiplayer essentially just kind of like a grindy, like almost like Destiny style, like looter game?
I wouldn't be surprised. I honestly have no idea.
I believe it is. I believe the multiplayer component is like, hey, pick your favorite Marvel hero and like play these missions over and over again and like get matched up with people who are also playing with you and get your loot.
They should have just made another Ultimate Alliance game.
They did. There's a Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, but it's fucking Switch only, so I'm not allowed to play it.
Oh, snap.
Apparently that game is really good, but I don't have a Switch, so.
We do have a Switch. I need to fucking find Ryan.
This is all karmic justice for them making Spider-Man PlayStation exclusive.
Honestly, that came to my mind when I saw that this game was apparently a money leaking trash fire. I was like, good, fantastic. Maybe hopefully dumb shit like that will not happen again. Trying to get me to fucking buy a PlayStation for your garbage, trash ass budget, fucking watered down Ultimate Alliance clusterfuck so I can play Spider-Man. I
Yep.
hate it. I'm glad it's dead.
The next thing is there's a master. God damn. Mass Effect remastered.
Yes. Bless.
We all-
Take my
we all-
money. Shut up
But
and
we
take
all
my
knew
money.
we all knew this was
Yes,
coming.
we did, but now it's official. And announcement of a new Mass Effect in development.
Yes.
I don't
take
want
my money.
no one should be don't stop. Can I
No.
can I
I
temper
don't care
expectations?
how bad it is. Shut up and take my money.
No.
You
Nope. I saw you
stop
post that
rewarding
image and I was
bad people.
I don't care
Yeah,
how
don't
bad
do
it is.
that.
I like Mass Effect too much.
No, that's bad. That's bad, Rob.
I know it's bad. I
no.
know it's bad.
Rob,
I
you
know it's
already
bad.
own the game. You have them.
I
Just
don't
play
care.
them. Play them again. Don't
No,
spend the
I'm
money.
not saying. Listen, I'm not saying don't buy remastered. Maybe that's going to be good. I'm tempering my expectations because I want to understand. Because saying, "Oh, it's the remaster collection" is insanely vague. I want to see what they're doing. I want to see exactly what the upgrades are, and then maybe I'll get excited. But as far as like a new game in development, no one should be excited for that yet. Nobody on the face of this planet should be hyped for a new Mass Effect game until we know more than nothing at all, because we all saw what happened with Andromeda. And I got excited once, and I will not be fucking duped again. I won't. I fucking refuse.
But Brandon,
Yeah?
you want to know why I actually have a little bit of excitement for this and
They
hype?
said that stupid fucking buzzword phrase of it's a quote unquote veteran team.
No,
Please don't.
It's because Andromeda was such garbage. I like to believe that there can't be a level lower than that.
First mistake.
They then made Anthem immediately thereafter. So yes, there's always a level lower. All I'm saying is this game. Listen. That stupid fucking phrase about it's a veteran team does not build hype for me at all. I have no like faith or confidence in this shit. I think it's going to be one of two things. This new Mass Effect game is either going to be a trash fire like Andromeda, which it probably won't be. I think they want to avoid that, so they'll put a little more work and a little more budget into it than they did previously, and they won't fuck up in the ways that they fucked up.
They won't use a DLC team to run an entire game.
However, what I think is more realistic is that it will be like a Dragon Age Inquisition. It'll be
I
okay.
like Dragon Age Inquisition.
I mean, Inquisition's okay, but it's not Origins. You know what I mean? Like it's to me in comparison
Nothing
to something
is
like
Origins.
Yeah,
nothing is Origins.
That's a bad comparison. You're trying to get your first experience with a game that was very original for its time and very.
Well, wait a second. Origins
No,
is just
no,
a good
no.
game, regardless of that.
Hold on. Origins is a good game, and that's also not an unfair comparison at all, because usually the point of making games after the first game is to like iterate on the concept and improve things, and it turns out that they didn't do that with any Dragon Age game going forward. So I think it's a completely fair comparison to say that it's not Origins, it's not Mass Effect 2, it's not Mass Effect 1. I don't believe that this game will compare to any of those three games I just compared Inquisition to, but it could be like an Inquisition. It could be okay. I could rate it like I bet it'll come out and I'll give it a good 5 or a 6 out of 10. That's my fucking expectation. I hope they surprise me. I hope it's as good as Mass Effect 2. I want to be wrong. I literally want to be incorrect, but it's probably not going to be the case. Those were my feelings on it when I saw this fucking announcement.
Is that just because BioWare is just like trash now that you have zero hope?
Look at everything.
I'm not even hyped for the remaster. I hate remasters.
We've had this conversation a lot.
You hate Resident Evil remasters?
I have literally bought none of them.
No, they're not remasters though. Those are remakes.
True.
There's a clear difference. They're like those games are completely different games. This, they're calling it a remaster, so I'm assuming it's just going to be here's Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, slightly up-res textures, maybe some mild quality of life improvements, but you're basically playing the same shit. They're not going to remake Mass Effect 1. They're specifically wording it as such that they're not doing that. So
I'm not buying Demon Souls, my dude.
I mean, listen, you're missing out because RE2 and RE3 remake are quite good. That's all I'm saying. But these are not remakes; they're remasters. So I can't defend them in that regard.
And yeah, I never. You know what? I will somewhat defend remasters like the Resident Evil 1 remaster, where it was like still the fixed camera, but I mean going from PlayStation 1 graphics to like what PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4 graphics. But when it's like these games that were just like a generation ago, and they're like, look, now in 4K, I don't give a shit. I don't care.
I mean, well, then RE2, your opinion, like RE2 remake and RE3 remake and shit like that doesn't even stack up to this. It's like a completely different.
No, yeah, that's my own weirdness. I'm honestly kind of interested in the remake of 2, but I just haven't picked
RE2
it up.
remake is a fucking triumph, dude. That
Yeah,
game
that's what
is
I hear.
incredible. But yeah, I'm 50. I'm so lukewarm on all this Mass Effect news. I'll be excited about the remasters when I know more about what they're doing, and I'll be excited about the new game. Never until people have it in their hand and I know whether or not it's a trash fire. I will believe zero hype from trailers. I will not get fucking excited at all because I'm not gonna get Andromeda again.
You know what?
And
I will.
I hope. What?
I will give it to them. I remember seeing all the Andromeda trailers and being like, "Oh!" So I think I could. I'll judge it a bit on
can't,
trailers.
I was so excited to some extent for Andromeda. I remember having long conversations with you, Richie, about like, oh, what are they gonna do with this new Mass Effect game that's in development, and like, oh, what are they gonna do going forward from 3? What's the plot gonna be? Are they gonna let us play alien races and shit? Like the hype was extreme because those fucking early Mass Effect games are incredible, and I adore them, and I was so fucking excited for Andromeda. And then they just shit in my mouth. They shit all over my face and in my mouth, and they made me eat it with force, and I can't do it again. I can't. I have to wait.
I understand your.
I have to wait.
How upset you are, Brandon.
There's still feces in my teeth from what BioWare did to me. Okay?
He remembers the taste. He remembers the smell.
I can't, man.
I understand, Brendan. It's okay.
I hope it's good. I hope minimally it's as good as like a Dragon Age Inquisition. I hope tops it compares to their older output. But I don't think it. I have to temper my expectations because I don't believe that it will.
That's fair. We don't have a lot to be confident about.
We really don't.
We really don't. BioWare's output for years, like what I'm saying is not extremist. It's like everything BioWare's done for years has been subpar.
I'm gonna put this in a very simple way. If Mass Effect Remaster comes out and they give me all new HD man on blue alien sex scenes, like they're getting my money. It's happening.
Okay. You're easy to please.
Yeah, no, very easy.
If you go on Pornhub right now, you'll see some shit that'll blow your mind.
You just took my goddamn line, you son of a bitch.
Better quality graphics than the first game, guaranteed.
On the Source engine.
You took my line.
You're not wrong, but I want it in the game.
He wants to be able to not have to, clean his computer afterwards.
Excited for these remasters just because it's an excuse for me to play.
One clean at a time.
Assuming these remasters aren't trash, and it kind of sucks because I was gonna replay the trilogy like months ago, but then I think I started playing Doom, and it shot me off track hard. But if these are good, it's an excuse for me to just pick these up and then do what I was gonna do months ago. And I would love to play Mass Effect 2 again, but like, I got to know details.
Like the trilogy again is 1. Just 1 makes me. It's not because I dislike 1. It's just the fucking graphics. Sometimes
1 is fucking rough. You're not wrong.
It's not just the graphics; it's the bugs.
Yeah.
It's not just the bugs either. It's like the gameplay too. Like 1 does not play nearly as good as 2 does.
Well, you don't like
in any
managing your inventory?
I'm not even talking about that, dude. I'm just talking about like I booted up one because, like I said, I even talked about it on this podcast. I was gonna replay the trilogy like a few months ago, and then I stopped because I started playing Doom and shit. But like I booted up one, made a character, played through like the first 4 or 5 hours of the game, and like that shit is rough. Like the shooting does not feel good. Like hitting people with your abilities does not feel good. Like the game is pretty
But Brandon, there are enemies everywhere, and you must die.
Yes, there are. And even in those first 4 to 5 hours, trust me, I heard a lot of enemies everywhere.
You
And then
must
I'm
die. Classic.
hope new Mass Effect's good.
Speaking of things that are for sure not good, Kotaku
Hey, y'all
released. Oh,
Sorry, hold on. Y'all motherfuckers want to make a new Mass Effect game where I can play something other than just a human? Like, why can't I get that Dragon Age love, but in a Mass Effect game?
Hey,
Can I get that?
we might be able to get it in the new game.
It's possible,
It's
but
very true.
it could also
Especially
come with
all
the
the
caveat.
continuous-
It could come with the caveat of the game being trash. We don't know yet. But hey, you want to build immediate hype for me before I get to see like maybe the trash fire that the game is, but just show me a trailer of character creation and be like, oh, I can play an Asari or I can play a Krogan. Like, just show me that. That would be fucking sick.
what were the jellyfish guys?
Hanar.
No,
The Hanar.
I don't want to play.
Oh my god, I
Hammer.
want to play an Elcor, dude. slap a cannon on my back and I'll just like lumber through the fucking game.
And
They're not going to
have
do
the
that
ability.
just because they'll have to
course they're
literally
not.
rewrite the game for the dialogue of those two races. No, if let alone all
Dude.
the other possible explanations.
It would be if they did something like that. It would definitely be a human, obviously, Asari, maybe even like Solarian, like the core races, like Krogan.
You know they can because they did it in Mass Effect 3 multiplayer.
Yeah,
Yeah, motherfuckers.
yeah.
Yeah,
They did,
motherfuckers. Motherfuckers better not put alien races in character creation for a Mass Effect game and not make Turians playable. That would be a slight.
Drell. I think that would be cool.
They had Drell. Like it's all there. Like that's the thing. It's
Quarian.
all there.
Aquarians would be sick, actually.
I love the Quarian. As a race, I just love them.
That's how
Yeah,
you get me
please.
hype. Show me a fucking trailer, BioWare, where I can pick an alien race, please, and I'm not stuck. I mean, it worked for the trilogy. I'm not complaining about it with the trilogy, but like, hey, we have a fresh
because you played the same character. That's why it works.
Yeah, and it was written for a human. It's not. It's like the plot literally kind of necessitated it to some extent, but like, you didn't do it with Andromeda, but you have a chance to build immediate hype for me with a trailer that shows off alien races and creation. They probably won't do it though.
It really does depend how much.
You know why I think they won't do it? You want to know my pessimistic fucking attitude on
Yeah,
this?
put on your tinfoil hat, man. Tell me why.
Here's why they won't do it. They won't do it because you know why it's easy to do it in a Dragon Age game? Because in a Dragon Age game, no matter what race you pick, you can use the exact same voice actor or voice actress and not have to do anything to the lines of dialogue to make them sound any different, because like a female or a male dude reading lines can be used for anything, whether you're a human or an elf or a dwarf or whatever, right? In Mass Effect, there's a little more work that's to go into it, right? You have to, even if you just use the same people, you have to record all those lines of dialogue, and then you do have to change it a little bit for certain races, probably. Like if you like Turians or something like that.
yeah, like Asari are fine, but Turians sound
Right. Sorry to a
definitely
human.
Krogan
Same.
would sound different.
There's a little more work that I think is to go into it to make it believable, and for money purposes, for budgetary purposes, I bet that's probably why they wouldn't do it. But I hope they do it.
I mean, once again, there were lines for the guys in the multiplayer. It's not impossible,
But
and they just did it
that's
for their multiplayer.
But Rob, that's not the same thing. We're
It's
talking about
not
recording.
It's not the same. But it's not out of the realm of possibility for him.
It's not out of the realm of possibility. You're not wrong. I just think for the sake of like ease of fucking work and budget, I feel like maybe they'll just let us play humans again, or they'll only pick alien races where the same voice actors are believable regardless. So it'll just be like
silence protagonist.
Oh God, on an RPG?
back to do you mean like back to like Origins where it's like you just read your dialogue line, but it's not voice acted?
That'd be kind of crazy.
I wouldn't hate that. But
I would
they'll
actually
never do
prefer that, honestly. I think RPGs are better suited with just written because you get to save a shit ton of money and give a lot more options. But it's weird when it's like in a series that like never had that to begin with. It would be, I think people would be really put off, even though I personally would be like, hell yeah. Let's do the reverse of Fallout 4.
We're living in a day and age, though, where I think, like, there is not a single EA exec that would sign off on that.
No, yeah.
They'd be like, no, kids nowadays are used to having fully voiced dialogue from their main characters. Like, we cannot bring this back to the fucking Origin days.
What do you mean? Mario, Link, two very big protagonists that are silent.
In series that have always been like that.
Those guys are not owned by EA.
And they're not owned by EA.
I kind of want to see now what an EA Zelda would be like.
No, you don't say that.
Just in my mind's eye, not like to actually have it exist.
All right.
Really Majora's Mask game, but you have to open up fucking loot boxes to get more shit.
Oh no, the treasure chests are like actual loot boxes.
Oh God. Do 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 do.
No.
The next one is the next news is Kotaku released a PlayStation 5 review, which is just
dude.
Holy shit.
Did anyone Rob or Ritzy, did you guys read that article that he posted?
I did not.
That's a shame. So you posted that, you posted that, and I was like, and I don't mean this to sound, I'm not trying to like, this isn't like a dig at you or anything, but I was like, I don't know what his opinion is on this. I don't know why he hates it. Because like some people just hate Kotaku because it's Kotaku, and I don't really know where you stand on that. So I was like, and I'm not one of those people really. So I was like, let me read it. Let me see why he's saying this is bad. So I click it and I start reading it and I'm like, this isn't that bad. I don't really understand what the problem is. Near the start, he says some really tone deaf shit where he's like, I went back and read my boss's PS4 reviews to be able to write this. And I was like, that's really weird. Why would you write that in your review? And why would they ask you to write this review if you have to do that? But whatever, that's fine. I'll hand wave that. Then he keeps going and he's like, I don't understand why people like 60 FPS in games, and he equates it to cinema going over 24 frames per second feeling weird. And he's like, I can't comprehend why anyone gives a shit about 60 frames unless it's a fighting game. And I'm like, okay, you're starting to lose me a little bit, but I can just chalk this up to like mild ignorance, and I can hand wave this too. Then I get to the end, and he just randomly gets political out of nowhere, and I'm like, this isn't the place for this. He literally, okay, I'm underselling this. This is literally how the review goes. And Anthony, I'm sorry if I'm jacking your spot.
No, it's fine. This is basically my opinions as well.
This is literally how it goes. He goes from reviewing a game console to getting to the end and then being like, and the PS5 is kind of cool and all and everything, but like it's kind of expensive. And also I think that, and then like hard cut to the next paragraph, he's like, but really I think that what we should really be talking about is the fact that Sony's releasing a console in the day and age where people probably can't afford this because of economic downfall due to COVID and shit. And he just spirals out of control and starts like shit talking like the current administration and stuff in a fucking article about a PlayStation 5. He's reviewing a PS5 and he just hard cuts to a paragraph where he just starts talking about that shit, and it gets to the end and he's like, yeah, but the console's cool, I guess. And then the fucking review just ends.
It's so bizarre and out of place.
It was surreal. I was like, I've never read a review for a piece of hardware like this before.
I have. That's the scary thing. This reminds me, there's another review which is most excellent. I gotta actually see if it's the same guy, where a guy was invited to a rock band reveal, and he spends the entire article talking about he tries to Hunter S. Thompson it, where instead of talking about the thing, he's talking about the event he's at about the thing. But the problem is Hunter S. Thompson was a cool guy that was on all the drugs, and this guy sucks. So he ends up talking about how he like meanders to like the punch bowl and is trying to talk about like the economic state of Cuba, and everyone he talks to is like, "What the hell are you talking about? This game looks awesome. Why are you talking about this dumb shit?" Like that's his entire article. It's amazing in how bad it is.
It was
But
just like it was surreal. Like I clicked, like you linked that, and I clicked it, and I didn't know what I was in for. And like first, his like ignorance of like gaming technology was weird, but totally like I could ignore it if I wanted to. But then
yeah,
I
he
get to
goes
the end,
really in
and that
depth on
happened.
some things, and it's pretty good. There are good parts of this article, and but there are also parts that I just read. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
I mean, he
Why
just
is this in here?
there's some really weird like tone deaf shit where like for instance the frame rate thing. I can't comprehend how anybody is in the gaming tech review space and doesn't comprehend why you would want to run things at higher than 30. Like I don't really understand that. And then he says some really crazy shit where he's like, the only competitive kind of game I've ever thought benefits from 60 is like fighting games, and it's like, well, there's a lot of other reasons in a lot of other kinds of games why you'd want to run them over 30. But like I said, that's just like weird. It's like weird technological ignorance, and then he just randomly becomes a political correspondent in like the last paragraph, and I'm like, what am I reading? Like I didn't know this was a Vice article. I thought it was a fucking Kotaku article about a PS5. You know what I mean? Like it was really strange.
Oh yeah, I. It's so bizarre.
I put the headset wire out.
Oh,
But I'm sure I didn't miss much. It was just so
very
fucking odd, dude. I highly recommend to both of you, Rob and Richie, that you go read that article. Even just skim it. It's fucking strange. It's the weirdest console fucking review article I've possibly ever read. Especially just for those like last two paragraphs where it's like, I get it. He feels strongly about this, about something here. I totally understand. But I didn't come to that article for that. Like, what if I was someone just looking for a review of a PlayStation 5? I just legitimately wanted to know someone's opinion on like a PlayStation 5, and then I get to the end of the article and he just starts going on a tirade against Trump and like coronavirus in the country, and the fact that Sony's insane for releasing a console amidst economic turmoil for families in the United States of America. And it's like, what's going on?
Hey, I'll have a I'll do a level of removal above that where it's like, imagine reading that article as not an American, and just how confused you'll feel.
It's just really weird. Such a strange plate. Like, I think the weirdest part about it is it's like, once again, I get it. He feels very strongly about about these things that he randomly goes on a tirade about at the end of his review of a PlayStation. Here's what I don't get. Was there not a single editor at Kotaku that shit slipped that shit went through, that read that and went, "Hey, bud, we're paying you to review a PlayStation.
Is everything okay there, buddy?
Or at the very least, just
Like,
go
are
pop
you
in.
okay?"
Just pop in and go, hey, I'm going to cut out the paragraph where you legitimately say you don't know how to write such an article, and you read my article in order to write this article. I'm going to just cut that.
You all right?
It'll make you sound like way less of a douche.
It was so strange. That was an
time
immediate
off.
red flag, dude. I don't know what I'm doing. I read my boss's previous reviews about the PlayStation 4. I'm going to try really hard. And then he commences with the review. Like, what the fuck? It was so
Need some
strange.
time off there, buddy.
This is very strange.
You worked a little too hard there.
I guess
Thank you for
so.
listening, because that was a roller coaster of emotions. That was a journey of a read.
You know,
I like it.
PlayStation 5 is not for deplorables, right?
Oh, excellent, Richie. Excellent. High marks. Oh my god.
That doesn't stop shit talking PlayStation 5, or I'm sorry, it doesn't stop shit talking COVID response in the United States. Trump might ship all PlayStation 5s to shithole countries exclusively.
I could make another, or like, Biden ships all PlayStation 5s to China first. Oh, God.
Like it just randomly became a Vice article.
That is 100%. That's great.
Like he just doesn't want to write for Kotaku or something, but he's stuck there. Like they have him chained in some basement, and they're like, write a review for a PlayStation 5, and he's like, but I have strong political leanings and feelings, and they're like whipping him, and then he's like, I'll sneak it in right at the end.
You know what they,
I know what I'm doing.
This literally seems like, oh wait, we need someone to review the PlayStation 5. This is probably our most important article in the recent months. Get out the dartboard. Let's pick who's going to write it. Oh, Timmy literally has 0 writing experience. Hey, read my article on the PlayStation 4 launch, buddy. Okay, get cracking. Don't worry, I'm going to punch this up in editing. I promise.
What an incredible article. That's one for the history books.
Sure is. Speaking of not understanding why frames per second would go over 60, Destiny 2's PvP component will be 120 frames per second on the new consoles.
Yeah, this was kind of insane to me, which is why I had linked it. I find it extremely interesting. Firstly, I find it extremely interesting because a game is pushing 120 on a console in like its competitive multiplayer mode, which is cool. I find that to be very neat. I also find it to be very interesting because it's a 120 FPS game mode. So base Destiny 2, I'm assuming, will just run at 60.
Yeah.
But they realize that people who want to shoot other players in the PvP mode want the game to run at 120 for competitive reasons. So they did it. And that's kind of insane to me. It's just really interesting.
The thing that I think will be very jarring is this is going to be console users kind of like first toe dip into variable settings. The difference between console users and PC is that we can do that from a menu and they don't really have a choice. So they're going to be playing Destiny and it's going to be 4K 60 upscaled. And they're going to be seeing mostly that, and then they're going to jump in Crucible and it's going to be 120 with like, I don't know about lower resolution, but they definitely mentioned like lower textures.
I would be absolutely shocked if Crucible could run at 4K 120, even on these next gen consoles. I bet it goes down to like, I don't know.
Well, if they really nuke the texture quality,
yeah.
And it's all like neither console is running native 4K anyway. It's upscaled. It's super sampled and upscaled. So I could see it still doing 4K at 120 with just severely, well, maybe not severely, but moderately pegged texture resolutions just because it's being upscaled, you know. Which honestly, that actually may be a recipe for disaster, because to lower the model quality but then still upscale the res, it's going to look jarring. Even if it's not a huge change, if they go from like high to medium or medium to low, it's going to be jarring. Literally from game mode to game mode. You're going to be in your orbiter, you're going to see your 4K 60 frame ship, it's going to dive down, and then all of a sudden everything looks weird and fast. I don't know how users, at least console users, are going to adapt to that. It's going to be an interesting thing to see.
Currently, it doesn't say anything about resolution. It just says All other modes will be at 4K 60, but Crucible will be at 120. They don't say anything about resolution in Crucible, which I find interesting. I don't know why they would neglect to mention that. Maybe there's
Well,
a
they,
reason.
no, they
for
say it right after. We'll switch to 120 Hz just for Crucible play, but with a lowered resolution and some lowered advanced graphics settings.
that.
All
Oh,
other
okay.
modes will remain 4K 60 FPS. Budgie warns.
Say what resolution though, right? They just say lowered resolution.
And
I wonder what
and
that-
for advanced graphics, it's probably all like that dumb stuff, like
'Cause-
motion blur and shadows and various other FPS eating
Yeah.
type things.
Lowered resolution can mean anything. That can mean like 1080 or it can mean like 1440. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was like 1080 just
720
120
interlaced.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to be
Totally.
that bad.
The only way we could hit 120 frames per second is if we brought it down to 480p.
But those
Sorry.
frames, though.
Them frames though.
Dude, you know how much shit posting is going to be generated if it really does tanking that much? Where it's like, there's going to be so many people be like, oh, what if people play, PC people always talk about frames. I played Destiny at 120 and it looked like shit. And it's like, it's because the resolution was nuked too, you dumbass. We get to do both at the same time.
I really appreciate this. Before we get off this, I just appreciate this for a few reasons, even if the ignorance of some people may spoil it. But I think it's really interesting that Bungie is clued into the competitive scene enough to know that there is a advantage given, no matter how slight, to people who play things like competitive first-person shooters at high frame rates. Like, there's a reason why people, pro players and shit in first-person shooters, will intentionally nuke graphic settings and res because they want to hit 120 or 144. You know, because there's an advantage to that, somewhat a competitive advantage in terms of just information that you're getting and ability to react to shit. And I think it's really cool that Bungie's bringing that to a console.
Yes.
I like that. It's very
the future
neat.
now. Again,
there are people who might not understand why they're doing it, but like I understand it, and I think it's really fucking cool that they're doing it.
It's so weird to be like, and I haven't even upgraded my PC yet, so my PC is probably going to be worse than these consoles when they come out. But to just be so not hyped for them, and then this is literally it's literally going to be like world changing to a person that's only been on console. This is going to be like almost a religious event. Look forward to that. If you've only played on console, these next ones are going to be pretty nuts.
Yeah, the Series X came out yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So they're out. They're out in the wild.
And the next bit of news is Mortal Kombat was making a movie, and it was also delayed because COVID. Indefinitely, that is.
What's that? I mean, there's not a lot for us to talk about on it because it's basically just.
I want to talk about how they made the Mortal Kombat dragon look like Nod's logo from Command and Conquer, just because of the use of red and black. I just looked at that and I was like, Command and Conquer? What? Mortal Kombat? What?
Yeah, I thought it looked like that, actually. You're not wrong.
All I think of is the old Mortal Kombat movie.
Those movies were great.
Those movies are great. Air quotes. Great.
Your brother's soul is mine, okay?
Your brother's soul is mine!
Luke! Johnny Cage punches Goro in the balls.
She used to scare me as a kid.
Really?
Oh yeah,
As a
because
child.
it doesn't it like immediately like hard cut to like flaming skeleton coming at
I
you?
believe it does. Yeah. But even just the fact that just when he snaps his brother's neck, I was like, as a kid, that really fucked with me. I remember it was horrifying.
Was that your first brush with death?
Probably not. I watched a lot of shit as a child I should not have watched.
That's true.
Doubt it.
It's weird to think about back at that when I was just like, man, I loved RoboCop when I was a kid. Wait a second.
Come on. Who let me see that shit?
How did I see such things?
I recall being a young lad watching shit like Predator,
Mhm.
Predator 2,
Mhm.
Alien, and like I probably had seen RoboCop, but I honestly don't recall. But those were the big three.
Evil Dead as a child.
Oh god, Evil Dead fucked me up. I was just talking about this the other day. I have a fucking VHS player in the other room, and I used to sneak in there as a kid and pop Evil Dead in. I still have the fucking VHS tape for Evil Dead, and I used to sneak in there and pop that shit in, and I would watch it up to the point where the first like Deadite happens, and they stick it in the like trapdoor basement, and it's like trying to get out, and then I would turn it off. I couldn't because like my baby brain couldn't handle it. I was too afraid. It scared the absolute shit out of me. I think Evil Dead really fucked me up as a kid. It really did. Now I'd watch it probably and just be like, yeah, whatever. But as a child, that scared the absolute shit out of me, and I think it fucked me up for a good long while.
Yeah.
How about you guys? You guys have experience like that? What did you watch that you weren't supposed to?
I was.
Literally
But like condoned watch what you weren't supposed to.
Yeah, like I was
yeah.
young. I forgot how old exactly, but it was young, and we were staying at my dad's friend's place, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and they had the TV on, and it was Cujo. That shit
Oh,
fucked me up hard. I still don't like Saint Bernards, dude. Like, I love dogs, but Saint Bernards just like they're dopey and fluffy, and all I could think about is Cujo when I see one.
I think of Beethoven.
yeah.
No, those movies they were never the same for me.
I remember I went
A difference in what movie I watched first.
I remember I went on vacation once with my parents as a kid, and I just Googled this to see like how old I would have been. I don't remember where we were. It must have been Florida because of like my brother and stuff. Doesn't play well for the podcast because no one knows what I'm talking about, but who cares? So we were in Florida, and I think we were in like a hotel, and I think I was like 9 or 10, 9, 8, 8, because Blair Witch came out in 1999.
Oh no.
And we were like, let's watch the Blair Witch. And that destroyed me. Just absolutely rocked my shit as a child. And then I had to go back home. No one tried to triangulate this, but then I had to go back home to a place where I'm surrounded by woods. So as a child, that was not great.
I was actually not scared of the Blair Witch like movie.
Well, how old were you when
You
you
were a lot
saw it?
older though.
I think I was like 11.
I watched that shit when I was 8 years old.
Oh, okay, okay.
And I watched that shit. I watched that shit recently, actually. And this is a crazy tangent, but I watched that shit recently, and that movie holds up. That's not bad. I would
Yeah,
I would
that's all right.
consider the
Oh no,
first
I
Blair
wouldn't say
Witch.
it was a bad movie. It wasn't a scary movie in my opinion.
It was scary when I saw it. I would say that it's just kind of eerie and creepy now, especially if you know like the backstory behind it and how they filmed it. It adds a little bit of chutzpah to it.
I
'Cause
saw.
those-
I'm trying to think. When I saw Saw, I saw Saw when I was
It all
young.
wasn't meant to be scary though.
Still, I could understand.
It's a bit of
Well, I mean,
horror,
the first
depends what you're afraid of.
the first Saw that was before they got kind of crazy too.
I
You
remember I
know.
saw the first Saw when I was younger, and that creeped me out. I know it wasn't meant to be; it just freaked me out, though.
I would
It's
argue
still
that
pretty
it.
freaky.
I would argue that it's meant to be, depending on like what you're afraid of. Does the concept of being stuck in a room like that and forced to do that shit concern you? Then you'll find it creepy. You know.
I mean,
People
even
are
to this
afraid-
day, I find it kind of creepy. Someone being like a judge of some sort, even though they're kind of fucked up themselves. It's a little freaky, the concept. Even though they just filmed it for pure gore, like they made it just gore porn, it was very.
Oh, yeah.
It's still a creepy concept.
got insane as time went on, but I agree with you that the first movie can be creepy depending on like who you are and what you're afraid of. I like the first Blair Witch a lot. I think that movie holds up conceptually. I think it's one of the best found footage movies, even still to this day. I just think it's a solid concept.
I love the found footage style personally.
Especially the first Blair Witch movie maintains chutzpah when you do some research into it and you realize that like a lot of that shit was quote unquote real. Where like they got those actors lost in the woods and then they would tell them to like camp and then they would fuck with them at night. And then some of the acting was obviously like acting, like she wasn't really crying because she was necessarily afraid, but like a lot of the stuff they were doing to them was real and they were kind of lost in the woods and they would communicate with them via like walkie-talkie and shit like that. So there's like an element of realism to the filming of the Blair Witch that's really awesome and lends to the movie a little bit. I also think the last footage. I think a lot of the ending moments in the Blair Witch are really cool too and hold up, like especially before they fucked the series up by over explaining it, especially with like remake.
There's nothing scarier than looking into a corner.
Oh shit!
Sean is randomly here, by the way. We're recording right now, Sean.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We gotta get
you can stick around.
Well,
really quickly, let's get your story on this. What was the thing that you watched when you were a kid that you shouldn't have watched, but it was condoned? Like, for example, me was like as a small child watching RoboCop.
I
know I'm putting you
Jurassic
on the spot.
Park.
You know what?
No, that's you know what? I agree with you on that. I also saw Jurassic Park as a kid, and that shit was horrifying.
When I was a small child, I actually had like first grade. I had to make a picture book, and it was about dinosaurs. And one of the slides was two dinosaurs viciously tearing apart a man from Jurassic Park 2.
Sick.
And it said they were in the movie Jurassic Park 2, and two dinosaurs eated a man.
Nice.
Nice.
I like
Homie
that.
guy.
Something that maybe makes me sound a little psychopathic. None of the Jurassic Parks, no matter how young I remember watching them, didn't freak me out. I
didn't mind Jurassic Parks either.
It didn't freak me out. I just,
Park absolutely scared the shit out of me as a kid. Clever girl moment, like
I was
kind of horrified.
Yeah.
Oh, that scared the shit out of me.
The thing about Jurassic Park too, at least the first one, is it really lulls you into like a full sense of wonderment and adventure, because that first like half hour, 45 minutes, it's a great time. and then the killing starts.
The whole movie was a great time. I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't remember if it was the first one or the second one, but like I legit couldn't even watch the scenes with like the T-Rex because I was just like anxiety ridden in the theater, and I was just like not watching the screen.
I have one more really good answer for this that I just thought about as you guys were talking about Jurassic Park. It didn't fuck me up as much as like Evil Dead did, because Evil Dead I think was like the pinnacle of fucking me up as a kid. But Halloween really fucked me up.
Yeah, you were not supposed to see that.
No, I did. And it was very that one's like right above Evil Dead, because now we're talking about, and the first Halloween is pretty fucking creepy. Now we're talking about stalker dude, as a child in mask stabbing people indiscriminately. That was not a good experience.
So
one of my parents fucked up letting me watch that. That's all I'm saying.
So I wasn't so much fucked up by a movie, but I was fucked up by a video game that I shouldn't have been able to witness.
Boy, that's a whole other discussion. We could talk about that shit for hours.
So fucking, I have vivid memories of going upstairs in the apartment we had in, Redacted, and then like one of my friend's dad was playing fucking Resident Evil 2 on the original PlayStation, and I will never forget the man in the gun shop getting eaten to death.
Literally the same thing with me. I didn't even see it. My dad, I remember vividly as a kid, my dad playing it in the living room. And we have like a split kitchen, so even though the kitchen's on a third floor, it's open into the living room. And so I don't even watch it, and I just hear, and then the second I looked, the whole town was infested with zombies. Glass break, screaming, eating, munching, and then my dad very calmly going, I wonder if I could kill them, and if I get the shotgun then. You can! But yeah, that... Hearing a man being eaten alive, that also messed with me.
I had a similar experience with RE2. Not the exact same scene as you2, but just the game in general. Because I remember this was back in the day of, to show our age, back in the day of game rentals, you know? And I recall renting RE2 over and over again on PS1 and just trying to like play it and not shit a brick as a kid, but I would always make it to like relatively the same spot and then just stop, like over and over again, because I just couldn't handle it. It was hard.
What got me when I was a kid. So when I was a kid, like with video games, I had the PlayStation 1 in my room, and my dad, he used to work for UPS. Yeah, I did too, but we had the PlayStation 1. My dad used to work UPS, so he used to get home really late. So he would like come in my room when I was sleeping and like play the PlayStation. Well, he played Soul Reaver, and I remember
what a fucking
like,
good game,
dude. It is a good game,
I wish they would make that.
Yeah, the game's awesome. But waking up when you're like 6, 7, 8 years old, and all you hear is the, you know, like fucking vampires and shit, like in the middle of the night, and like it's horrifying.
That's probably like some evil sleep therapy shit that happened to you as a kid listening to that.
Yeah, as a kid, you were just listening to Shakespearean dialogue and people being eaten.
Yeah.
Your formative years.
I remember this wasn't when I was young, but I was freaking I was thinking it was like somewhere, I think it was like freaking 14, 15. I had my PlayStation 3 in my room. I hear my door open. Richie's coming in my room here to get the PS3. I see he's like halfway to getting the PS3, and he's getting the wire. And I get so freaked out because I just see someone. It takes me a second to register. It's Rich, and he's just like standing there with the PS3 in his arm, with dangling with the wire.
Breaking into your PS3.
And I'm just like, what the hell are you doing?
Listen, he really need to get a look at that cell architecture. Don't you understand?
Hell yeah. The power of the cell. And that terror. You know what? Related to PlayStation 3 and being freaked out, I was a teenager at this time. That commercial with the baby was still unnerving. For the PlayStation 3.
I think I know what you're talking about.
You know, that didn't fuck me up as much as the Xbox controller, where the baby was shot out of the mother into the air and then aged through an entire life, and then as an old man landed in a grave, and then the Xbox logo.
Well, I know what you're talking about.
You have existential dread, though. That has extra spice to you.
First of all, I know what you're talking about. But second of all, I was talking to Matt about this recently, and he didn't remember what I was talking about, but I want to see if you guys do. I think Anthony will. Do you guys remember like the horrifying ambient noise of the original Xbox menu?
Yeah, yes. I know what you're gonna talk about.
You remember that? It's so fucking creepy. Like you can go find videos of that shit on YouTube. It's so weird.
Apparently there was like talking at the end of it too. Like
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's a message in reverse or some shit like that. I don't remember. Or it's like weird like voice modulation going on with it, but it's very fucking creepy. It's like there's weird dialogue in it if you let it run long enough, and it's just like spooky ambient noise. It's like the longer you let it run, it's like I have a weird horror game just as background noise in my UI. I remember that. I have vivid memories as a kid of like letting my Xbox menu just run by accident, or like letting it run and then like coming back into my room or something and like being greeted with that. That was really fucking spooky. I know there's more games I played as a kid that I probably should not have played.
Well, I know one. It didn't freak us out. What was that one? Where you're like playing the bandage guy. We started to play it at my house like a little bit, and then my parents were like, "Turn that shit off."
Oh, Nightmare Creatures.
Yeah, Nightmare Creatures.
Nightmare Creatures 2 specifically.
I didn't think that was that bad. I remember my defense was like, "Don't worry, he's only hacking off their leg," and that didn't fly for some reason.
No wonder why. I played Quake at a very young age. That probably wasn't kosher.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh,
first
you know what?
Quake-
This makes me think.
Forget.
Could you imagine the kid who was like way too young for the stratification process?
Oh god.
That scene had to have fucked up some children.
Yeah. But even like OG Quake is almost like a pseudo horror game.
Oh, it's not. Yeah, it's
The game is kind of
it's
creepy.
for sure like got gothic horror up the ass. Same with the original Unreal. The first Unreal is.
Oh, the first Unreal's horrifying. The first Unreal's opening is fucking spooky.
Oh
as
yeah,
shit.
the prison.
Thank you for
Hell
bringing
yeah.
that up. As a child, I used to play Unreal Gold, or maybe it was even before Unreal Gold existed. But I used to play Unreal, and I would get to the. I couldn't get out of the ship at the start because as a kid, I would run it, and I would get to the point where there's like the corpse in the chair that like spins around as you approach it,
Mm-hmm.
and I couldn't do that. I couldn't. As a small child, that scared me so fucking bad. I could barely get out of the first level to play the actual game. So as a child, I had Quake, or I had Unreal, but I never really experienced it because I couldn't get out of the fucking ship.
I think it was the
So-
same story here.
So my first like actual experience with a first person shooter on like computer, you guys are all gonna fucking laugh. Star Trek Elite Force.
That was a good ass game.
Yeah, I was
It
gonna say,
was.
isn't that game's like well received, isn't it? Isn't that a good
It was
game?
it was good. Yes,
it's the
but,
only
like,
good thing about Voyager.
Listen, I watched Voyager as a kid and
Me
thought it
too.
was good. Well, because of that video game.
Yep. Recontextualize the whole thing. Voyager has some cool shit. Species
Isn't
852 and
We've talked about
Voy-
this on the podcast. Isn't that Janeway?
yes.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
Janeway's War Crime Adventure.
I've heard people say that that's not bad, but I haven't seen it.
It's definitely the weakest, and it's also a very different format to compared to like the next generation. All right, we're getting sidetracked from our sidetrack.
we are rambling.
That was a really good
That's
discussion,
fine.
though. I
I
really
like
like
Listen,
that.
I
Get in.
showed up randomly and probably for the first and possibly only time, and as I am
Of
reclusive.
course. You've been on this
Nah, that's fine.
before.
Wait, what?
Well, he's been on for the stream viewings, not really for any actual.
Oh yeah,
podcast.
that thing. Yeah.
Do you got to come up now with like an avatar and like a
I already
voice
have one.
clip?
I've used
Oh,
one.
yeah, so-
Oh, you got a voice clip and everything?
No,
You got to get that. He's got to be in the intro.
I'll slip something of this. Oh, I'll do Eated the Man. There you go, done.
What?
There's plenty of voice clips of
Oh.
him in the old. Oh shit! What was that horrible Counter-Strike knockoff game that we played like years ago? for the
Oh
Camel
yeah,
channel?
yeah. I could steal from
Oh.
Camel Channel.
Help me! What the fuck was that game called? But
Tactical
anyway, there's plenty of
Intervention.
voice clips.
Tactical intervention.
Yes,
From the
there's
genius
plenty of voice clips
minds.
of Sean. Yes, from the genius mind, from one of the genius creators of Counter-Strike.
I don't know that. Here's the thing. That voice is coming from Fat Me, and I don't want Fat Me to be immortalized any more than he already
Wow.
is.
Yikes! You can only use Swole voice.
That's true. It reflects his
well-
avatar. Anyway, our last news story.
I say, do we even have any more news?
It's just Twitch is getting the elbow drop by record companies because people
Oh,
keep
yeah.
streaming music and they're
I,
suddenly realizing that they can't just get away with that.
I kind of hate this as a news story. I'm not saying I hate you for putting it on there. It's totally viable
hate
to
me, it's
talk
fine.
about. I hate that people are shocked about this.
Yeah,
The amount of like, Twitch things I've seen, like Aqua FPS has like a podcast thing that he does with dudes, and they've uploaded like 2 different ones where they're just bitching about the Twitch DMCA stuff, and I'm like, How did any of you not see this coming? You've literally been getting away with like something you should not have been getting away with for years. And the fucking come down was going to happen eventually. Y'all are just kind of ignorant for not expecting it to occur at any point.
And here's the thing: it's not like music is banned. It's just you got to get, you do like General Sam and like make a direct kind of link with this one guy to play only his music. Because you need something to keep the downtime. No one's gonna sit and watch just a screen with your "be right back" message. You need some ambiance or something. But there are avenues, and there's also like 8 billion royalty-free songs too, and some of them are pretty damn good. Like, just use any of those. Let alone all the people actually playing DJ on Twitch, which was a thing and now is not anymore. Thank God.
So I mean, there is nuance.
You have a problem with that?
Yeah.
There is
What
nuance
the
to be
fuck
found here.
Oh, hold on. No, hold on. What's the problem with people playing DJ on Twitch? If Mod Duke, the D&B producer, wants to play a mix, I'm literally a guy, wants to play a mix on Twitch, what's wrong with that?
Is it his?
It's a mix of like that he would probably play live at like a festival, as that is his job, but he's just live streaming it instead of doing that.
Right. Does his license extend to streaming?
Well, I can't answer that, but I'm just saying, what I'm asking you is your issue with it because of the fact that it's like ignorant of Twitch DMCA shit?
I'll say it's a
Or you-
little bit a
you
mix
hate
of
that people do it.
it's a little bit of mix of different things. I'll say real quick, where it's one is, if you don't have the rights to the music to do it in such a way, then it's just straight up illegal. And you could argue that that's a stupid rule and it shouldn't work that way. That's what the courts are for, is to determine legality of these things. Good luck against IP law, though. But in other instances, when it's just jack off McFuckface, he could go die, and then
That's my favorite producer, the jack off.
and then there's the little part of me where it's like it's weird for anything not video games to be on Twitch. Like, I hate that like the biggest Twitch things is like just chatting. And like there's apparently a streamer who's really big that just does like political talk show stuff, and I don't even know what their politics are, but just the fact that exists on Twitch just makes me scratch my goddamn head. I understand that's that's old man me. I understand. I accept it, but I'm still crotchety, damn it.
I like when like actual professional DJs shit like live stream a set. I think that's cool. That doesn't get it. I'm not saying that it's right if they don't have the ability to do that legally, but I like it. It's cool. I think it's cool when people do it on YouTube and shit, and they just upload a video of them doing it. And then, I mean, if they're not making money off of it, then whatever.
Yeah, if it's your stuff, especially, there's absolutely no limits. But that starts the argument of, is DJing transformative? Sorry, go ahead, Sean.
So like there is nuance to be had with this, because the whole Twitch is only just now enforcing this, and they are not providing the tools for like a lot. Part of the reason why this has gotten so bad is because there has been like absolutely no enforcement for like the entirety of Twitch until literally just now.
So people have like years of Twitch clips that they randomly have to do something with.
And that's from what I understand, because I've listened to some other like internet personalities who are deeper in the weeds on Twitch than I am, because dear God, I can't. That streaming is not my thing. But apparently, like, not only like if it's mostly like recorded stuff. So like there's a clip system. The problem with that is that the person who has the channel doesn't make the clips. It's done by users. So so you could have like 20 different clips of the same thing and get hit with 20 different copyright strikes for one offense. And also, which wouldn't be too bad if you could delete it, but apparently there's been people who have like just decided, fuck, I'm gonna nuke it. I'm gonna nuke all of my like clips and stuff. It sucks, but law's the law. They're still getting strikes for clips they deleted because they're still on the server.
Are you serious?
Wow.
Yeah. So basically, because Twitch is not going to be taking any responsibility, all of the content creators, rightly or wrongly, who like are trying to remedy this, are getting screwed. So that's from what I understand, anyway.
Yeah, that's completely understandable, I believe.
Yeah. So the whole thing about internet streaming though is like it exists basically. There was like this guy on Twitter who like had the most like ratioed like comment about how streamers streamers should pay a licensing fee for playing the games on
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because that becomes the instant next argument where if you enforce that, then what about just playing games? And the argument is that's transformative, but you could counter argue that at least DJing could be seen as transformative.
But what I'm trying to get at is the hidden within that bullshit is is the truth that yes, like streaming kind of exists in a weird place because video games are one of the few like entertainment mediums that genuinely 100% benefits from people playing it, from people like showing it off on a stream for free.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't work that way.
We go back to the fact that like, I mean, I don't know if there's any hard science behind this, but a lot of people have speculated that a big part of the Yakuza series was a series of games that like most people in the West didn't give a fuck about, and then the best friends started LPing it, and apparently like sales for Yakuza games took a bump because like attention was given to this weird like Eastern developed series that no one here knew about for a very long period of time. Like there are benefits to people streaming games and recording displays,
which is why that's allowed to exist, because technically by law that dude was right. That's not what that would be a terrible like self-destructive move by anyone who tries to do it.
Y'all remember in like I don't want to say early days of LPing, but like kind of in the midst of like the peak of LP success, when Nintendo was just like nuking shit off YouTube for like a year or so. You guys remember the news regarding that shit? Like I remember when that was happening. That was a big thing in the LP community, was like you can't like we don't know if we can LP this new Nintendo release because we might get struck on YouTube.
And then they did a creator and then they did a creator program where they were like, okay, you can stream our stuff, but you got to pay us like 30% or something ridiculous. And no one did it. And then they just gave up.
Now that's dead. But yeah, it's been wild. Something I don't really understand is like, and I'd have to do the research to figure out why this isn't the case. But what I don't understand is that a little bit before this whole DMCA debacle on Twitch, I recall there being a system where people's clips that contained licensed music would get muted. They wouldn't have to delete them, but you'd go try to watch the clip and you'd be like, oh, I remember watching this live. The streamer was playing like this song or whatever, but you'd go to see the clip and all the audio would just be nuked from the clip completely. Like, I don't know why a system like that didn't just solve the problem, at least with clips, and why they're just striking clips and forcing people to delete shit. But like, I would have to go look up why they're not just doing it that way.
And that's the news.
Regardless, the fact that no one saw this coming is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And if the person is streaming who thinks that you are in your rights to use other people's music for free, on your Twitch stream. Spoiler alert, it's worked like this everywhere else for years. You've literally just been getting away with it for free. And only now is anyone telling you that you can't do it.
Yeah, just the laws suck. We can all agree on that. And they're poorly worded and poorly understood and poorly enforced. Which murkies the
just like-
waters.
Poorly enforced goes hand in hand with Twitch, though.
Yeah.
You know, copyright. You know, listen, I will forever curse and I will forever curse the name Disney for what he did to copyright law. So you know,
They continue to do to copyright law.
Yeah.
Don't you dare draw this mouse, even though it's well past the statute of drawing limitations.
Death of the author plus 70 years. Oh wait, 70 years? We mean 120.
At a podcast, are we done with news?
I believe so.
We out with a surprise fucking guest appearance from Sean.
Yay.
Yeah.
I may return, I may not. It depends on my whims.
You should.
He will
Oh,
whim
yeah.
in and out of this bitch.
It is my whims.
Bye-bye.
Hit all of you. Goodbye.
Bye.